So there was a story that went mega viral the other day. And the story was there was cocaine found in the White House. Now, the initial reporting said not only was it found in the White House, it was found in an area where Biden usually is. Huh, interesting. So my reaction to that is based. Listen, Joe Biden needs cocaine. I know it sounds like I'm joking. Ha ha, he, tee hee hee. Kyle's being silly. No, I'm being serious. Joe Biden needs cocaine. He would talk better. He would function better. He would have more energy. Joe Biden needs cocaine. He does. Now, look, I would prefer he goes the legal route and gets Adderall, right? Because that basically is legal cocaine. And, I think he's probably been on that drug or a similar drug or whatever at one point or another, because there are times where he has these bursts of energy. There are times where he was like randomly good against Bernie in that debate when previously he couldn't even string a goddamn sentence together when he was doing these rallies. So, like, I think he's probably been on something. I don't know exactly what it is. But I look at that and I go, good. Now, look, the problem here, of course, is the hypocrisy that everybody points out. It's like, hold on, you were a drug warrior. You were for the crime bill. You were throwing the book at everybody and their mother when it came to their substance use or their dealing of substances. But look, you have it in your own family. Story came out the other day. Hunter Biden was smoking crack and driving like 170 miles an hour on the highway, and he recorded it. What? So everybody knows about his sex addiction, his drug addiction, etc. And Joe Biden wants nothing but, unending care and sympathy and therapy and help and rehabilitation for Hunter. But for others, it's like, no, you I throw the book at. You I put in prison. So the problem here is the hypocrisy. Now, having said all that, the initial reporting was wrong in this case. Because yes, there was cocaine found in the White House, but the cocaine was found in an area where visitors go to the White House. It was in an area where, people come for a tour or whatever. That's where the stuff was found. And so there was this fake story that blew up, and the basic facts of it were wrong. Kind of like with the Titanic submersible, where everybody speculated for 4 days, and then you found out on the fifth day that actually the U.S. government heard the explosion, and we knew second number one that this thing was probably donezo, right? Similar thing. It was fake, spread far and wide, and then we learned, the facts are actually wrong, and this isn't. This is where visitors go. It's probably one of theirs. Okay, so having said all that, this does not stop Trump from being Trump. So Trump chimes into this story. Does anybody really believe that the cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House, very close to the Oval Office, is for the use of anyone other than Hunter and Joe Biden? But watch, the fake news media will soon start saying that the amount found was very small, and it wasn't really cocaine, but rather common ground-up aspirin, and the story will vanish. Has deranged Jack Smith, the crazy Trump-hating special prosecutor, been seen in the area of the cocaine? He looks like a crackhead to me. This is part and parcel of Trump. There is no, ideological perspective. There is no, here are my politics. I will argue in a consistent way with my politics. Just what can I use to throw at Biden? I'll throw whatever you want. I'll throw whatever you want at him. And so now it's I don't know. He does coke. Hunter does coke. Jack Smith maybe does coke. You're all cokeheads. The media is going to cover this up. If anything, the media blew it out of proportion and pretended like Biden was a potential candidate when he wasn't, right? So it's the opposite of what he said. But this is classic Trump. You're going to hit him. Oh, it doesn't matter. The specifics don't matter. I don't know. He's a cokehead. Biden's a cokehead. Like I said, if Biden was doing coke, I'd be like, damn, that's based. You need it. I don't think this is a scandal. I think you should change the laws so you don't lock people up for cocaine. Right? I think you should change the law so, you don't ruin people's lives over similar transgressions. But I think it's good if he does. I think he should be on Adderall. I absolutely do. And I'm being dead serious. He needs it. Okay, now having said all that, look, the debate ending point in this non-existent debate, this fake conversation, is what? Trump is going after somebody for taking cocaine. Now, Hunter, guilty. He took it, right? But guys, do you remember all of the talk around Trump himself? First of all, I believe there was a reporter. Granted, this guy's kind of sketchy. I'm blanking on his name right now. But he showed what he said was the pharmacy slip for Trump when he would get his prescription of an upper. I think it was Adderall or Vyvanse or something like that. And Trump, remember this? Remember when he tweeted that very famous, I love Taco Bells. I love Mexicans. It was something like that. And you saw in the background a drawer was open, and you saw Sudafed in there. Now you're thinking, okay, whatever, Sudafed, that's no big deal. the particular kind of Sudafed he had was a kind that's not sold in America. It was only sold in the UK. And the reason America didn't sell it anymore is because it was like a massive upper that people were abusing. So maybe Trump wasn't taking Adderall or cocaine. Maybe it was just Sudafed, but it's the same effect. It's a massive upper. It's a drug. So the Sudafed thing is proven. We know that's true. The thing about his, the slip for his prescription, that's not proven, but still could potentially be real, that he was getting Adderall or Vyvanse or whatever. But guys, forget all that. This is one of those, like, believe your own eyes and your own ears, because this is a very famous debate with Hillary Clinton where Trump kept doing this.
Well, I actually agree with that. I agree with everything she said.
Okay, two things to point out, because maybe you're listening to this going, I don't know, what the hell are you talking about, Kyle? What are you doing? How is this relevant in any way, shape, or form? Sniffing like this is what happens when you take in some sort of substance where you go like this. If you ever been around somebody who's done cocaine, they will, from then on, for the rest of the night, they'll be doing that a lot. They will be sniffing a lot. This is not an opinion. This is not subjective. This is a fact. This is how it works. If you snorted something up your nose, you'll be doing a lot of that the rest of the night. Now, the other thing is his mouth. Dry mouth, right? That also happens when you're on an upper. Anybody who's taken an upper will tell you that. I will tell you that. I took Adderall a decent amount in college. That was my party thing. I'd have an Adderall and I'd drink, which, by the way, not healthy. Speedball. Don't do it, right? But I did it in college. And that's what happens. Cottonmouth. Got to drink a lot. The sniff. If you snort it, you sniff. Now, clearly, this is evidence. He's snorting it. Now, look, I want to be clear. I don't care, right? Like, I don't care. This is like, go ahead, Don. You probably need Adderall, too. You probably need Sudafed, too. If I was his age and I was his weight, I wouldn't want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed now. And I'm not his age and I'm not his weight, right? So I'm not hating. I honestly don't view it as all that different. It's more dangerous, but I don't view it as all that different from like somebody who drinks 3 cups of coffee a day. It's an upper. I got to get going. I got to focus on whatever I got to do. I don't blame you, but shut the fuck up. Hitting out at Biden, hitting out at Hunter. Hunter, it's fair because he's definitely guilty. Biden, he might be on Adderall. That's whatever. But stop hitting people on shit that you're guilty of. You're guilty of it. But I'm going to go a step further. He said, Hunter and Joe taking cocaine, unlike I and my wonderful son, Don Jr., would never. Which brings me to Don Jr. His speech at the RNC in 2020. Look at his eyes.
Good evening, America. I'm Donald Trump Jr. We're here tonight to talk about the great American story, to talk about this country we all love, this land of promise and opportunity, of heroes and greatness. Just a few short months ago, we were seeing the American dream become a reality for more of our citizens than ever before. The greatest prolonged economic expansion in American history, the lowest unemployment rate in nearly 50 years, the lowest unemployment rates ever for Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, women, and pretty much every other demographic group.
He is gacked the fuck up, dog. And he is barely blinking, and those are the glassiest eyes I've ever seen. Now, by the way, I'm showing you this clip. I could have showed you almost any clip of Don Jr. You remember we covered a thing he said recently where, like, he was almost doing like a hyperbolic parody or caricature of his dad. He's like, China! And he was talking in a way that was very, like, his eyes were red, his eyes were glassy, he was talking a million miles an hour. Homie, we know what you're doing. Anybody who has any, even minimal experience with drugs, we know what's going on, okay? You're not fooling anybody. Now, my final point is this. Let's just call a truce. Because I don't think it's fair to attack Hunter, to attack Joe, to attack Don Jr., to attack Trump. I don't think it's fair to attack any of them over this. I sincerely don't care. There was a story going wild the other day about Don Jr. met Aubrey O'Day, I don't know, some reality star or whatever who was on The Apprentice, met Aubrey O'Day at a gay club and had sex with her in the bathroom, and she was talking about it, and she was like, oh, you're awfully comfortable in this gay club, even though, you know, your family's like anti-gay or whatever. And like people, you know, that's spreading far and wide. And it's like, the story is really about Don Jr. having sex with some reality star in a bathroom. I don't care. Now, at the time he was married, that's kind of gross, but that's his business. That's it. That's not my business. That's his business, right? So drop all the sex stuff, drop all the drug stuff, drop all the stupid. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is that Hunter's corrupt and Joe's corrupt and you're corrupt and Trump's corrupt. That's what I care about. I care about the fact that you guys have sold out your country time and time again for personal profit. I care about the fact that you're little cucks to Saudi Arabia and corporate America. That's what I care about. But in terms of the Coke, or in terms of the Adderall, or in terms of the Sudafed, in terms of the weed, whatever drug you want to talk about, honestly, I think you guys would be a lot better off if you did more of those drugs. Makes it more fun, makes it more interesting, makes it more entertaining, makes you more energetic. Like, sorry, I'm pro them doing these drugs. I just am. So anyway, glassy-eyed Don Jr., Sudafed snorting Donald Trump, barely awake and alive Joe Biden, and crack smoking at 170 miles an hour Hunter Biden. Don't care. It is what it is. Just stop attacking each other, because it's the hypocrisy of it that annoys the shit out of me, because we know you're doing substances too. We know it. Let it go. Attack over something more legitimate. But at least with these guys, they can't, because there is nothing legitimate they can attack over, because they're worse. All right, that's the show. I love you guys very much. Thank you, as always, for listening to me babble. Everybody do me a big favor. Click like, click subscribe, click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. We're trying to stay ahead of breaking points. I must stay ahead of my wife in the sub count. Don't let them overtake me. Do me a solid. Do me a solid. And yeah, remember, don't talk to advertisers. Never have, never will. So please consider supporting on Patreon, link below, or leave a tip with a thanks button on YouTube. And that's all I got for you guys, man. I'll talk to everybody soon. Have a great rest of your week. And definitely make sure to check out Crystal Kyle and Friends, because we are going to talk to an expert, a doctor, about the specific claims of RFK Jr. Are they true or not? We're going to go through them with a fine-tooth comb, and we're going to give you the reality of the situation. The guy says a lot about medical issues, and we'll give you the truth on it. So, all right, guys. Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Peace. Hey, y'all. Do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.